Hello everyone and welcome back. Sorry for the long time away. We're back with a good one today. It's Julio Cesar Chavez versus Roger Mayweather 2. The first fight was pretty good, but this one went on a little bit longer, and I think Roger gave a better showing of his skill. This is at 140, I believe. So we got Julio Cesar Chavez versus Roger Mayweather. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about this fight concerning this fight and his nephew Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Jr. So we start off with Roger Mayweather moving, trying to work that jab. Now Julio Cesar Chavez, I'm going to stop it right here real quick. We're going to go back. Julio Cesar Chavez, I've done a lot of videos on him in the past, and what I liked about him is how he cut off the ring. He squared up a lot to do that. We'll see that today. So here we see how he's kind of stepping in with that right foot. He squared a little bit, and he squared right there. And he does that to get under the jab and get closer. We'll talk about how he cuts off the ring in the first 3 rounds, and then it forces Roger Mayweather to stop and actually fight. So there we see a jab. Jabbing and moving. Now, these are the punches that we're going to see in the beginning from Chavez, which is wide hooks and right hands. They're not thrown to land. If they land, that's good. If not, it's just to make Roger Mayweather go a different way. You'll notice that Julio Cesar Chavez really doesn't want Mayweather moving right. He wants to cut him off a lot. So we'll see here. We got that left hook. Now Roger gets away from that one by rolling with it. And then he gets out. And then Julio Cesar Chavez cuts off the ring again. Now, another point, I'm just going to lay it out in the beginning. Chavez, he tries to control the center while he cuts off the ring. So if you watch my videos on Manny Pacquiao versus Morales and Barrera, I said that Manny Pacquiao would follow a lot. What that means is if Chavez was Manny Pacquiao from here, Manny Pacquiao would go straight in and possibly let Roger Mayweather get around. What Chavez does is he steps over through the middle. So he's stepping through the middle to meet Roger Mayweather and keep Roger Mayweather closer to the ropes. He's not letting Mayweather get the middle of the ring as he cuts off the ring. So we see a lot of jabs from Mayweather in the beginning. But a jab isn't enough to keep Chavez away. That was a good right hand right there. Boom, right over the top. Roger Mayweather, you could tell by now he kept his hands pretty low. He did have very long arms, a very good reach, so he could punch from here and land punches, so he didn't really keep his hands up, and he had good instincts to get away from punches. But here, he's moving into that right hand, and Chavez tells him, hey, don't go over there, stay in front of me. But he still moves. Now we're going to see a lot of things in this fight. The reason I brought up Floyd Mayweather Jr. is because he learned a lot from Roger and his dad and Jeff Mayweather. So we're going to see what kind of moves that Roger does in this fight that we saw Floyd Mayweather Jr. do in his own career. And see Chavez, wherever Mayweather goes, he stays in front of him. So here, he sees Mayweather go to the right, and then Chavez squares up. You see, watch Chavez's feet. So he's in his fighting stance here. Mayweather moves, Chavez squares up, and he sidesteps, and then he is in his stance again in front of Roger. Now, Roger was a 2-time champion, I believe. He's champion here. He's defending his belt. So he's pretty good. So it's going to be hard trying to stop him from moving. So it's going to take some time and some effort. There we see that right hand to cut off Roger from moving left. Boom. Boom. And then he goes the other way. Now, cutting off the ring, you're not always going to be successful, but you have to try to stop your opponent from moving, and that's what Chavez is doing. You don't have to catch them on the ropes every time that you're cutting off the ring. See, Mayweather gets out over there. But by constantly doing this and constantly putting the pressure, eventually the fighter in front of you has to stop and fight you, and that's what Chavez wants. Sorry guys for the smoke alarm, if you guys hear it in the background. So here Mayweather goes left, and then watch what Chavez does. He doesn't chase him. He doesn't go this way. He goes this way through the middle of the ring. He's controlling the center and cutting off Roger. See how he meets him a little bit more here. Now Roger doesn't want to go left, and then he has to go the other way. And then Chavez catches him with a wide left hook. Again, if these punches land, it's good, but he's trying to stop him from moving, and there he gets him to stop for a second, but Mayweather moves again. Now, this is where strategy sometimes doesn't work when you have a guy in front of you that's not going to stop moving forward, and it doesn't matter how many jabs you hit him, he's going to keep coming forward. So that's where boxing strategy kind of falls apart. We'll see that later in the fight. So you could have a very good game plan, but if the guy in front of you if you don't have the power to keep the guy away from you, he's going to keep moving forward, and it's going to give you a hard time. So that's when it's a game of will over strategy at that point. It's who's going to stay in there the longest. See here, Roger tries to step to the right, change direction. Chavez throws that wide hook, and Roger doesn't have any choice but to move to the left. And then Chavez is going through the middle again. He's not chasing him around. He's going through the middle. So he's holding the center. If you notice in the first 3 rounds, Roger's back is always against the ropes. Later in the fight, he does start standing in the middle more, but Chavez, at that point, the fight's on and both are landing punches. So here, watch Chavez's foot. Oh, I can move this, I think. Okay, there we go. Now watch Chavez's right foot when Mayweather steps. See how he kind of squares up with that right foot? Boom. Now this is what I like about Mayweather. If you follow me on Instagram, I talked about this thing a lot with Alexis Arguello and Roger Mayweather and George Foreman. I was doing studies on them. So don't bring back a missed jab right away. You want to use it to control your opponent. So if I jab, if I'm Roger Mayweather, I throw my jab and Chavez slips. Okay, if Roger brings back that jab right away, Chavez is going to have an easy time throwing a counter. What Roger does here is he keeps his glove, his wrist on Chavez's neck and trap area, this L right here, and he pushes down this way. See how Chavez is off balance a little bit and Mayweather can escape. See, he can't counter. Now, another thing that I want to talk about, and I tried this in sparring and it actually works pretty good, which is when Chavez slips, his right hand goes this way. Now, I've done a fight study on, what's his name? Roberto Duran versus Iran Barkley, and I've talked about that right hand, why boxers move their right hand out when they slip. But a lot of fighters and Roberto Duran, when they slip, they push down like this way. But Chavez's right hand, it goes all the way this way. We'll see it right here, and we'll see it again later on. See where his right hand goes? Now, I'm not completely sure why he does that, but when he does slip left, he pushes that right hand out. Sometimes he turns it into an overhand, but yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that too. Ref's already getting involved. Now, Roger does do a great job of holding in this fight. The round's over, I think. Roger does do a great job of holding this fight, tying up Chavez in the later rounds. Okay, we're going to skip by this part. Okay, we're going to go. Okay, there we go. Like I said, the first 3 rounds, it's a cat and mouse game for a bit. And then round 4, we see Roger settle down and actually start fighting. He lands some really good shots, but Chavez just takes them and keeps coming forward. And okay, we'll stop right there. So we've seen what we've seen in the first round. Roger moving side to side. Chavez cutting off, meeting him. Cutting off someone is you're meeting them where they're going to be. You're forcing them to move somewhere. You're not just following them. So you see here Chavez moving with him, staying in front of him. And you see that right hand come out. It might be a feint too, almost like Canelo's, because Chavez goes with the left hook, uppercut, and body shot when he does this. So this could be just a feint to make his opponent think that the right hand is coming, but then get hit with the left. But Roger does something really good here. He controls the neck. And watch what Roger does with his, while he's controlling Chavez. Grabs his neck, pushes him off, and gets away. Okay, how many times have we... Now, this isn't a Mayweather move. This is every good boxer against a pressure fighter knows how to do this. But we see Floyd Jr. do this a lot when he's on the ropes there. Grabs him, gets him off of him, and moves out. But like I said, Roger had the best strategy to beat Chavez, but he just didn't have the power and eventually not the will to keep going. And that's what made Chavez so good, is he broke people down. You'll really know what I mean when we see after the 10th round what happened. But yeah, so skills don't always pay the bills. And this is what I like about Chavez, what he does. See how he kind of squares up. If you watch my videos a while ago about Chavez versus Hector Camacho and versus Pernell Whitaker, they're southpaws, but he does this a lot against southpaws and orthodox fighters, is he squares up and he kind of bobs and weaves in, and then he catches Mayweather there. Mayweather ties him up, does a great job of that throughout the fight. I'll stop stopping the fight for a while. We'll let it play out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. See how kind of dips his head, slips. He's like in a squared position. Okay, I got to stop this right here. Okay, so far Chavez has been doing a great job of making Mayweather stop moving places, but he hasn't been committed that much to the right hand. But here I feel like he committed too much to the right hand too early on. So here he tries to counter that jab. This is like what happened in their first fight. Boom, boom, and Mayweather's able to get out. Okay, so you don't want to overcommit your punches in the beginning. I liked what Chavez was doing in the beginning, not overcommitting with his right hands, but here he throws a big right hand. Could have paid off, but it didn't, and then Mayweather's able to escape. If a guy's still fresh like Mayweather, you don't want to overcommit because he's possibly going to get out the way. Now this is the first big punch from Chavez, and it's kind of an awkward punch, so we'll play it in slow-mo, we'll see. So he's doing that square up thing again. See when he squares that right foot up? Now, a lot of fighters, when they move in from this position, they're going to throw that 1-2 or a 1-2 hook or a left hook or a right hand from this position, and Roger Mayweather is going to be able to get out, okay? But we see here, watch Chavez's foot, steps, okay? Now Roger is... He doesn't have, there's a wall in front of him. He can't just get away anymore. So he tries to escape. And boom, Chavez comes over with the left, like a southpaw left hand almost, because he's almost in the southpaw stance. Steps with it. Now this is the first time that Chavez could actually hit Mayweather while he's on the ropes. So the other reason I'm studying this fight is the Philly shell, or the... It's not really a Philly shell, it's like a Michigan thing, but this defense, the shoulder roll, we'll see what punches Chavez actually throws against this Steve. So we got left hooks, right hands, left hook, left hook, left hook. He's going to feint a right hand. Boom. Oh, there's a feint. Okay, now that feint right there, I've talked about this on Instagram in the stories, but I want to point it out here. So if you watch Floyd Mayweather or James Toney, anybody that does a shoulder roll, the person doing the shoulder roll wants an aggressive fighter that throws left, right, because they get in a rhythm of blocking the hook, rolling the right, blocking the hook, rolling the right, okay? So the more aggressive you are and more honest you are with your punches and what you want to do, the easier it is to defend. But watch what Chavez does. He feints that right hand and he breaks the rhythm of Mayweather. We've seen this, Sugar Ray Leonard did this against Floyd Sr. where he feinted the right hand and threw it again. But you see, they get in a rhythm. Boom, he's expecting left hooks and right hands. And then Chavez throws him off. Boom, and then he lands that left hook again, okay? So you don't want a shoulder roll guy to get in the rhythm of defending. There Mayweather's playing possum a little bit. And you just see the beautiful defense of Chavez, man. Holy. Even when he's square, he's dipping and rolling and bobbing and weaving. There's a right hand from Mayweather. The first landed, and then he holds on. No, I gotta say, I loved Mayweather's performance in this fight as well as Chavez's, but Chavez's will to keep fighting on and keep moving forward is just remarkable. There's that right hand, and then he ties him up. Watch this again. So Chavez does this, he jumps into this jab. Boom, trying to catch Mayweather. Kind of catches him right at the end of the punch, but Mayweather gets that right hand over the top. Bang. Now Chavez kind of dips under right away, and the right hand doesn't really land on him. But Mayweather does a great job after landing the punch. He's not punching again. He's holding on, ties him up, grabs his neck, and grabs his left arm. That's Chavez's greatest weapon on the inside and throughout his style. But he grabs on and waits for the ref to break them up. Those couple seconds he just took, he's breathing and he's getting his gas back, Mayweather is. You could almost think of this fight a 140-pound version of Joe Frazier versus Ali. Just the fighting styles. You got a guy that won't stop moving forward, and you got a guy that throws a lot of right hands and jabs and stuff. So kind of the same idea. Not exactly the same styles, but the same idea. Now, this is what I meant when we're going to talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. If you watch Maidana versus Mayweather, you know that Mayweather started screaming because Maidana bit him. And a trick that Mayweather did was he would put his palm on the guy's face, on his nose and his mouth, so he can't really breathe. So I'm guessing he got that from Roger, because watch what Roger does with his left hand. Chavez can't see. Chavez, there's a wall in front of him. He can't see anything. And then as soon as he rips that back, boom, right uppercut right to the neck. Okay, so this is where I think Floyd Mayweather Jr. got this move from his uncle Roger, and then he holds him. We see Mayweather Jr. do this a lot in his own career. That kind of pissed Chavez off, and he grabbed Mayweather's neck. Okay, that's the first time that Mayweather landed a good right hand. Let's watch this. Jabs right on the eye. Bang, right down the middle. Now, this is something that Roger is really good at. I watch his other fights. After he jabs, he brings down his jab hand against his opponent's lead hand so he could open a way for his right hand. So what we're taught a lot as fighters when we first start is throw your jab and throw the right hand right after it. But if you do that, the other guy could just block your right hand. But watch what Roger Mayweather does. Pops his jab, it landed. Now watch what he does. He doesn't bring it straight back. He's going to drop it against Chavez's left hand. Okay, now Chavez can't block as easy. And then bang, down the middle. Goes with the body shot, doesn't really do anything, and then gets another right-handed. So if that's another thing that I think Floyd Jr. learned, how to land that right hand. Okay, we got to go back. Sorry, guys. It's a lot of stuff I want to cover in this. I said I would stop pausing. Okay, this is something that Alexis Arguello did a lot, is he would control the guy's shoulder. So here we see Mayweather. Sorry. See how he puts his palm on Chavez's shoulder? Now Chavez could only throw that left hook. He can't really throw the right hand. Bang. Okay. This is something that Alexis Arguello did a lot. So he would put his palm or a glove on the guy's right shoulder, if they're orthodox. See how Mayweather does this? He drops it down, and then it's a perfect opportunity to throw that right hand. Chavez will see this in the fight also. He's really good at anticipating punches and seeing them coming, and he turns his head with them, so they don't really land as clean. So even here, he sees the right hand coming, he kind of jumps back a little bit, takes some off the right hand from Roger even though it landed. Kind of like what Canelo does. They could really feel the punches coming. And the round is over. The ref doesn't like Mayweather's antics in this fight a lot, but who cares? You're fighting Chavez. You can't be a good sport. You got to rough him up a little bit. Okay, let's watch this again. This is a replay. So this was the second round, I believe. And that's a step from Chavez that we talk about, the right step, and he squares up, and then Mayweather doesn't have anywhere to go. There again, he misses the jab, Roger. Okay. Chavez slips that. He's really good. If you want to learn how to slip to the inside, watch Chavez. He's one of the best at this. There's very good at slipping the jab on the inside. A lot of guys like James Toney and stuff, they slip to the outside. Chavez knew to slip to the inside to get his left hand working with left hooks, left to the body and left uppercuts, and a jab. But it's very dangerous, but Chavez was just so good at it. Now here again, Roger throws his jab. He doesn't bring it back, because if he does, Chavez is going to let off a left hand. So he controls him, he pulls his head in, and then Chavez can't throw any punches. Okay. Waits for the ref to break them up, and he's resting while that happens. The ref needs to get out the way, because Mayweather needs all the holding he can to stop Chavez from punching him, so it's understandable. Okay, there's that jumping jab. This one landed pretty good. See how he kind of bends down. Bang. And then he moves in. Now, again, if we watched Chavez versus, who's that guy? He stopped in like the last second of the last round. Meldrick Taylor. I've done a video on this. Chavez uses his left arm very good to pop up his opponent's head and keep them here. And then he throws the right hand. So after he moves in here, he doesn't just stay there. Watch his left arm. See how he lifts Roger's head up with his elbow. And then usually from there he would throw the right hand, but he didn't this time. But he's really good at using his left hand on the inside to frame and prop up his opponent's head. Nice jab from Chavez. Beautiful defense. He doesn't get credit for his defensive movements against jabs and right hands from his opponent. See. Okay, this is another thing we got to talk about, which is moving your head before your opponent punches. I've talked about this a lot before. A lot of coaches talk about this. A lot of new fighters, what they do is they keep still. They wait for their opponent to throw a punch, then they move their head, and that's usually wrong because you're reacting to your opponent's punches. Now, you could flip it on your opponent, and what you could do is you could move your head before your opponent punches. And this throws Mayweather off because Mayweather can't just throw a punch now. He has to guess where Chavez's head is going to be. So we see Chavez, he goes left, and he squared up. Right, left, under, comes up with that jab. And he hypnotized Mayweather. Let's watch that again. I'll play at regular speed again. See how he kind of hypnotized him for a sec? That's what head movement before your opponent punches does, is it makes them stuck and makes them guess where you're going to be, and that's when you let off your own punch. Another thing of Chavez, I'm sorry guys, I just love both their styles, and there's so much to break down, and there's so much you could add to your own game from just watching these two. So Chavez does this a lot. He throws the right hand. A right hand that's not really thrown to land, it's thrown so he could square up. I gotta move this again. Ooh, should I move it over there? Okay, watch Chavez. He throws the right hand. Watch his right foot. Steps under. Now usually he steps under and throws a left hook or a jab. He does this against southpaws a lot too. So he throws that right hand, goes under, steps over with that right foot, and he closes the distance. That's another thing that you could learn from Chavez. Nice right hand after that left hook. Now Floyd Mayweather Jr. said that Roger taught him more offense and his dad taught him more defense. That's Floyd Sr. So we could see where Mayweather gets his offense from, especially with his right hand. That's a low punch. You got to do what you got to do to keep a guy like Chavez away from you. I understand it. It's dirty, but you got to keep him away. You can't just keep him away with a jab and a right hand. Nice right hand from Mayweather. That's another good right hand that he landed. Okay, you got to move this back. Now the camera angle switches, but we'll try to catch it. So jab, and again, watch his left hand. He lands the jab, and he pulls it to the right to mess with Chavez's left hand. See how he kind of swipes with it? He jabs, swipes with it, bang, gets an opening for that right hand. Right on the chin, but it does nothing to Chavez. So we see that Mayweather's stopped now and he's fighting. Actually, he's not moving anymore. He moved in the first round. I remember it being 3 rounds of movement and then they stood and fought, but I guess it happened a lot sooner. Okay, that's another great move by Chavez. From here, guys, again, beginners, guys that don't understand how to cut a guy off, they'll go this way and they'll let this guy escape this way, if you could imagine what I'm saying. Watch what Chavez does. He steps over to the right. See that? And he meets Roger over here. And then he's moving in. Steps again. And this is what I said when he throws that right hand, squares up and then throws the left hook. But here he doesn't throw the right hand. But imagine Chavez from here throws the right hand, then steps over, and then bang with the left hook. Doesn't land anything, but watch how he just puts Roger on the ropes. Sorry if I'm talking a lot, guys. This is my first video back, so I got to get back into the groove of things, so bear with me, please. Nice right hands by Chavez. There's Mayweather going at it. Chavez telling him to hit me. Now, Chavez did say in a podcast, someone told me that Mayweather did hurt him. He shook him up with the right hand, but Mayweather just didn't know he did it, and then he didn't attack. You could see where Floyd Mayweather Jr. gets all his hand controls from, how he grabs guys and moves them around, especially aggressive guys. See that? And you see Chavez put his hand out when he slips to the inside. But you see how that left hand from Mayweather ruins that left counter from Chavez because he's controlling his neck. You know when they say, like, if a shark attacks you in the water, you punch its nose or something, it's really sensitive? Well, in boxing, if you control the guy's head or, like, neck area, it throws them off balance and they can't really punch. So a lot of good boxers, Alexis Arguello, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Jr., Roy Jones did this a lot against the ropes especially, but it's controlling the opponent's head. They're not punching the guy when the guy's moving in, they're controlling his head, and it throws him off balance. So here Chavez wants to come with the left hook. Mayweather grabs his head, and he pushes him off to the side. A lot of good boxers do this against aggressive fighters. Nice jabs from Mayweather. Nice right hand to the body from Chavez, and you see him take that step to the right. Round 4. I found that funny, the amount of Vaseline on Mayweather's chin. I think that's Vaseline. I don't know why the ref didn't stop the fight for a second, wipe it off. I guess it's to make the left hook slip off from Chavez. Cutting off the ring again. He senses that Mayweather is moving this way, and he comes in here. He doesn't throw the hook, he throws a double jab. Boom, boom. Makes him go the other way. And then again, doesn't chase him. He steps over through the middle. And Mayweather's back is still against the ropes. Every pressure fighter should study Chavez. And he has so many fights on YouTube and everywhere where you could literally study his style from his first fight to his last fight. And he had a ton of fights, so there's so much studying material on Chavez. So if you're a pressure fighter, I highly recommend studying him, how he fights boxers. A lot of pressure fighters, they lose when they fight a good boxer, but Chavez knew how to deal with it. This is another thing that Mayweather Jr. did, and I actually posted a video of this on Instagram. Mayweather Jr. versus another guy, I forgot his name, but he does the same thing. He throws his right hand, this is a right uppercut, and then right after he throws that punch, he frames his opponent, he puts his forearms, here's the right forearm. After he lands, he doesn't just stop there because Chavez could come back. Watch what Mayweather does. Puts his hands across Chavez, and he ruins the counter for Chavez. Mayweather Jr. does that a lot too after he throws lead right hands and lead hooks especially. Nice right hand from Chavez. Mayweather playing possum, grabs him. Dancing around a little bit. Again, it's like a nightmare fighting a guy like Chavez or fighting Chavez. You have to have more stamina than him and be a better boxer just to keep him off of you, which is not a lot of guys have both. That's where the argument for Mayweather Jr. comes in. Does he have the stamina to keep Chavez away from him and actually hurt Chavez? That's a question that a lot of people would ask if it's a fantasy fight between the both. There's a jab, bang, like a left hook jab kind of from Chavez. Now he's putting Mayweather on the ropes. Kidney shots. Nice jab from Mayweather. Nice right hand. Again, controlling the neck, and he pulls him into an uppercut. Bang. It doesn't really hurt him. We'll see Mayweather does this more. It's easier to see in the other one. He does that when he grabs his neck and throws a right uppercut. I'll show you guys when it comes to that point. Is that a point taken away or what? I don't know. This is a good ref, though. He's calling out Mayweather on all his holding and stuff, so. Was it that one? Yeah, it is this one. Okay, so, what the hell is that? Okay, Chavez throws a right hand. Mayweather doesn't go to block the right hand. He controls his neck, his head, pulls him into a right uppercut, and then nice body shot right there. The ref said it was low, but I don't think so. It was right on the belt line. If it was low, it's unintentional. I don't think that was it. He could have went lower if he really wanted to hit low. I'll let you guys watch this in full speed, and I'll shut up for a moment. Sorry guys, the video froze, so I'm gonna play it where we cut off for a sec. So this is my favorite sequence, the whole fight from Mayweather. Grabs him, bang. Now watch what he does when he gets in the corner. Right hand. This is my favorite part of the fight. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, this is my favorite part right here. This is my favorite move. We saw Mayweather do this before. Sorry for the police sirens. This is what we talked about. Mayweather did this usually on the right shoulder. Here it's the left shoulder. Chavez lands a right hand. Watch what Mayweather does with his left hand. Grabs his neck. Pulls him. Right hand. That's my favorite right hand of the whole fight. And this is what I said Mayweather Jr. did. He learned this from his uncle. Bang. Watch what Roger does with his forearms. Puts them across Chavez's head. Gets away from that. Bang. And he yells something at him. I'm guessing it's the B word. This is my favorite part of the fight. He won't stop holding. Ref has to break them up. Ref is mad. Jesse Reed, one of the best coaches. Chavez's corner is just telling him, don't get mad, just keep fighting your fight. And we'll go on to round 5. Chavez wants to meet him, but the ref gives him some space. How many times have you seen Muhammad Ali do this? He did it a lot, that's what I meant, not that he didn't do it. Good boxers against pressure fighters, they knew how to blind them, control their heads. This is what I said Chavez did very well. Watch his arm here. Pops it up and pushes Mayweather this way. Against Meldrick Taylor, I don't know why he didn't do it here. Pushed him, and then he would throw a short overhand right here, but he didn't throw it this time. He just wanted to move him. So we have two types of controls. Chavez with his forearm and his elbow, and Mayweather with his left hand, controlling Chavez's head. You have to hold when you're fighting a guy like Chavez. You can't just let him fight on the inside. Now, usually fighters get called when they post out their left hand against their opponent's face, but the ref hasn't here. He has called other things on Mayweather, but not that. Mayweather working his jab again, trying to keep him away. See that? So jumps in. This is the third time we saw Chavez jump in with a jab. Kind of lands. Mayweather kind of gets off it catches him here. Now watch what Chavez does right when he lands. Bang. Boom, boom. Pushes him. Tries to get that left hook in. He did that against Meldrick Taylor too. He would use his elbow and then throw it left hand if he didn't throw it right. Now here he moved into a shoulder from Mayweather. So both guys have their tricks. Bang. Do you guys catch that elbow again from Chavez, or that forearm move, and then he threw a right hand that time? Boom. Now Mayweather looked a lot better in this fight than he did in the first fight. His team said it was due to the weight cut. I think that fight was at 135. This one's at 140. So he feels a lot better going into this fight. And there you see him post up Chavez's head, but the ref doesn't say anything. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing he understands Mayweather's plea for help. This is where the fight gets really good, when both guys are in the middle. We'll see later rounds of the exchanges they get in. Boom, right hand. Holding on, Mayweather is. Boom, lets off a combo, misses. Nice left uppercut by Mayweather, holds on. You got to keep doing this over and over against Chavez. Nice lead right. Doesn't really do anything. Okay, guys, I'm going to end it here because this fight did go 10 rounds, I believe. Mayweather was stopped before the 11, so this is midway. Appreciate you guys if you're tuned back in. I'm sorry I was away for a while. I'm in a new setup now. I'm in my gym right now. Got the bag up and stuff. I'm just setting it up. Appreciate you guys for staying tuned, like I said, and have a great day.